being guaranteed to go to Madison Square Garden is a huge accomplishment to be able to play there.
I've been to Madison Square Garden before. I never thought I'd be on that stage.
The legacy behind it, it's gonna be incredible.
Once I'm there, I'll finally be able to realize how amazing it is. If our goal is to win Worlds, first we need to win NA.
This is the best I've ever felt as a team. Being first in the regular season doesn't mean much. If we get first in playoffs, then that'll mean something to me.
They are first, so they should be the most difficult opponent. As long as we play well, we're probably going to win.
Last split, we had all the right ingredients, just not in the right order. And now everything's falling into place. I think this is our split.
Welcome back to the North American LCS Summer Playoffs. The crowds are fired up here in Los Angeles. A lot of excitement to see who will be advancing to the finals. As you can see just moments ago, the crowd, so much energy before they even load into the arena, and you're getting a look at some of our combatants. Here's Bjergsen and Wild Turtle taking notes from the EU action earlier today. They'll be up against Team Liquid, who you see here loading into the studio for an important day of League. Hello, everyone. We're joined at the analyst desk by special guests who have a totally objective, unbiased, and detached perspective on today's showdown. The owner of TSM, Reginald, and Team Liquid. Gentlemen, thank you for taking time to meet with us, first of all, and congratulations on making it this far in the playoffs to start. Now, we'll talk to these guys in just a second, but before we do so, let's set the stage with a quick look at the bracket. Counterlogic Gaming swept their semifinal series against Team Impulse and secured their first appearance in the LCS playoff finals. They'll face off against the winner of today's matchup between Team Liquid and TSM. Meanwhile, Team Impulse are still on the hunt for a spot at Worlds and will take on the loser of today's semifinal in next week's third-place match to bank championship points for a good seed in the upcoming regional qualifier. Returning to the match at hand, we do have the two men here with some inside perspective to the teams. I'm going to start with you, Liquid. This is the best Team Liquid has ever finished in a regular season. What has that been like in terms of confidence and momentum moving into a playoff run for your team?
I mean, it feels great. We've tried to figure out what the recipe was for success for I don't know, the last 4 years or so, and it's always been off for one reason or another. But this year, things are coming together. So
Reginald's over here with a smile on his face. He's laughing already.
What exactly is so funny? His recipe's better than yours so far.
Yeah. Oh,
I heard success and TL in one sentence, and I started laughing.
But the fact of the matter is that those two words can be used in the same sentence.
That's right.
The only time TL
we finished the first in the regular season.
I'm
and we're going to beat you today.
The first time, the only successful thing you've done is take fourth consistently. I mean, last split he got third.
Third.
That's right.
First this season. I do want to rein us back in and refocus because I would like to hear the remainder of your answer. You're looking for the formula to success.
Yes.
What has that formula been for your team?
You know, for us, we really expanded our staff. That was probably one key differential between this season and last season. Having Peter and Mark, and then also kind of a team of analysts that do film, VOD review. We have an analyst that does all of our comms. Just really looking at what are the small parts of our game that we can improve on. So we did that. And I think, too, we just focused a lot on team synergy and did a lot with making sure that we ironed out any of the issues between players. Yep.
Moving over to you, Reginald. This is the worst that TSM has finished in a regular season. So I want to get your diagnosis as to what went wrong, but also then your input as someone who has stepped in to help with some of the coaching, what you've done already to remedy some of the problems moving into the playoffs.
So I think one of the biggest problems for us is really the direction of the team. We're headed in the wrong direction, and the players and the coaching staff were learning how to play the game incorrectly. And we really relied on Bjergsen to carry pretty much all of our matches because, he's a really strong carry and our teamwork just wasn't there. So since I stepped in, we've been working on, overall team strategy and team synergy. And that was something that we were really lacking for the whole entire split. And the matches that we won were because, teams made critical mistakes and were able to capitalize on it. But it wasn't us going in and really, taking advantage of small mistakes and turning them into big gold leads. It was more of us turning big mistakes into small gold leads and eventually just outscaling the enemy. But going into playoffs, it's something that we completely changed. We're able to, take advantages of small mistakes and turn them into bigger gold leads than before. And as you've seen in the gravity matches, we're looking better and better, but it's just not there yet. We've been practicing harder and harder, and it's something that it's finally coming together.
So you said it's coming together, but it's not there yet. Are you actually nervous about this match? Is Team Liquid ahead of you in terms of this sort of cohesion and strategy growth? I
actually think that we're on the same level in terms of strategy. In terms of just pure mechanics, TL is really strong because they have all strong individual mechanical players. But I think that something that we have over them is game-over-game adaptation. That means that we're going to be able to adapt better than them between games, and we're going to be able to help our players transition a loss to victory. Versus TL staff, I think that that's something that they definitely lack.
I mean, historically, that does reign true, right? TSM known for losing game one and winning the rest of the series. You guys have unfortunately had a couple of really rough ends to best of five, so I see that coming out. I actually want to redirect a little bit because both you guys actually own really very successful esports brands now, and even though both you guys started in League of Legends, there's now a whole lot of players in a bunch of different games under your various teams. Reggie, obviously, you're very hands-on with your team. We know that you're coaching them almost very directly, but what sort of special place in your heart does both your guys' League of Legends team hold for you?
For me, my League of Legends team is something that I've played on, and it means a lot to me because, I've been through the whole entire League of Legends team since the very beginning when we were just throwing tournaments for free RP 6 years ago and until now. So I've been here since the very start, and it's something that's always going to be extremely important to me. That's why, I make time to step in. I make time to be really hands-on and coach the team when we're doing poorly. And it's something that's probably going to stay like that forever, just because it's probably the only thing that's ever meant anything to me in life. I've never worked so hard on one thing before, and so it just became natural. I don't know, maybe like a kid.
Before we get into your answer, Liquid, I'm going to piggyback onto it and tack on a secondary question, which is that with these organizations, with this team that holds a place so near and dear to your heart, the idea that you could be playing for the NA championships in Madison Square Garden, what does that mean?
Yep. So, Freak, your question, I gave up, I think, a very successful career in Washington, D.C. and decided I wanted to put my heart into something, and it was League of Legends at the time. And I lived with the guys in a gaming house for 3 years and developed the team. I was coach, manager, owner, and as the industry has grown, I am still very attached to the team. I live very close by, spending a lot of time with the guys, spending a lot of time with the staff. So it's my life. So League is very, very important to me. About MSG, I want the best representation to be at Worlds for North America. I want North America to do really well this year. And if we are the team to do that, then we're going to beat TSM today, and then we'll do a really great job representing North America at Worlds.
Now, Reginald, kind of, piggybacking off of that, the idea of playing at Madison Square Garden, but ultimately the goal there is to go to Worlds. TSM has always had lofty aspiration. What are your thoughts on your ability to represent North America on the world stage?
I mean, our goal for a very long time is always to win Worlds because we've won NA before, and that's our long-term goal. It's honestly a really big goal, and it's really hard to achieve. But right now we have to focus on winning NA first because it's only gotten harder and harder and harder. I think that the games, this playoffs, is going to be extremely hard for us. I think it's going to be very close. We're going to see a 3-2 or 3-1, and I'm going to focus on one thing at a time. I'm hoping that we do make Madison Square Garden. I'm hoping that we do make it to the finals. And I think that NA really needs the best representation this year because the community, everyone thinks that NA is the weakest region. I still don't think so. And we're really basing it off one event. And there's only been 2 or 3 international events this year, where NA actually won one of them. And so I feel like a lot of the comments about NA being trash is like really short-sighted because we're basing it off of one event. But I really hope that NA does see the best representation, whether it be TSM or TL.
Or both.
Or even both.
Or both. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's not forget that there is the possibility of both. Well, if the regular season is indicative of how close this series will be, it'll be pretty damn close. Now, once again, gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us on the desk. Best of luck to both of your teams today. Excited to see what happens. Now, before we kick it over to our casters, let's talk Twitter for just a minute. It's been brought to my attention that almost all of the casters have had to face the Twitter firing squad and answer your tough questions, except for me. So today it's my turn. Send me your questions at LOL Esports and use the hashtag #AskDash. Now, as we send it over to our TriCast, let's take a quick look at Team Liquid's journey from cursed to first and how the team are prepared to conquer playoffs.